And in the upper right, in the blue, but for the red team, it's Astrea.
And spawning down on the bottom left for the red, but playing on Psystorm, it is Spirit.
Game paused.
Well, we did the intros.
All right.
There we go. Steadfast, it's gonna mess with me a little bit because I don't know what it like. Normally, red teams and blue sides don't really get me, but the Matcherino logo is almost the exact same shade as the red you play in game on this map, and just because you have the logo up top and the name down below, it's messing with me. I don't know, like it's getting me somehow.
I see what you're saying. It's a very strange thing, and the fact that it's crossed up it's quite strange. But we're gonna be getting into the game for real now. So far, obviously, not too much has happened. We're starting off with a quick probe scout, but you and we had ourselves a cheeky little bet going into this one just for fun. But you were saying that you were feeling a Spirit going into this one. I was saying Astrea is on the rise, and we bet ourselves a cheeky little beer. So maybe the players, they might have a little more at stake than normal. They're playing for a whole bunch of money, but of course it is that beer that is the big one. They're
playing for the caster pride, and that's far more important. But Steadfast, I thought that was the Clem series that we were talking about. Of course, that series has I could have sworn that was the Clem series.
Well, now I'm not sure.
I
thought it was Astrea Spirit, but could have been. I don't know, because I was saying that that you could flip like 20 coins for that TBT bracket, and any one of them would make it out. I think that's what I was saying for that one. But either way, it doesn't matter too much, because this is the series that we're starting off with, and now we actually do have something rather interesting. Ooh. And that is a Sentry opener. Now, I wonder if this is going to be a multiple Sentry opener. No, it's going to be Sentry into Stalker. Of course, with that relatively recent, it's not recent in the pro meta type of thing, but it is a relatively recent change to the Sentry. It's now a Ferrari. It now moves a lot faster. It builds a little bit quicker. And so there's more value to getting this. So getting this for the early scout is an interesting start to the series. Astrea does not want to be caught off guard.
Not at all. And this is something that was theorized, that people were talking about going into Katowice. Oh, hey, Sentries build a little faster. They're Ferraris. It's great you can get this scout. Maybe it makes sense to get them early on. And then we didn't see a ton of that at Katowice. The meta was too new. It was evolving. So it's fun to see that here. And against a Spirit who is doing something, I don't know, maybe like one tick off normal, getting these 2 Hellions into the Widowmine drop. Well, it's going to be a nice scout out for Astrea. He's going to see the reactor. He's going to see that, hey, there are no Widowmines on the map right now. So clearly something has been made out of this factory. I don't think that Spirit's going to get much done with this. It's only 2 Hellions, and you've got a Sentry, you got a Stalker there, but even still, gives them some information.
Gives him a lot of information. Yeah, it lets him know that there's still production going on. He saw that there was no add-on yet, so it will of course be a medevac or a liberator, and based on the fact that he's seen what he's seen, it is probably going to be that medevac. Now Astrea is going into a quick third base and the robotics facility. The next question for me is, would we see an armory? And it looks like as things transfer off, it's going to be very unlikely. The answer will be no, but there will be an opportunity to find some value. Look at that nice force field at the front. Does catch this first Hellion, but the big thing, of course, is that mine drop on the right side. Will Astrea be able to find it?
I love this. Drop 1 Widowmine, just have it run into the natural 3 in the main. Stalker is exactly there, but instead, hey, Carpet Bomb onto the ramp, into the mineral line, and the probes, they're going to get pulled in time. It was a little slow, but second Widowmine tries to find the probes, get pulled, and they're going to kill it off there. So absolutely no damage thus far as Steadfast, even if a couple probes go down, and hey, that's 3 and a Stalker and 5 workers. Okay, never mind. I'm not as happy anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say this is starting off pretty darn good for Astrea, but he did struggle a little bit with that. Now, Spirit did some really cool stuff right there with all of that. Raven is going to follow this up for some additional harassment, and of course, keeping those mines alive is very important for the Terran. It's very annoying for the Protoss. But by dropping that Widow Mine, he was able to send it in from another angle and just make it that much more difficult to deal with. Really, really unpleasant when you have so many screens to look at. You only have one screen and one set of eyes. And speaking of which, we are going to see Spirit trying to find some value. Nice blink right there from Astrea. Will avoid the one Widow Mine, but oh, that medevac. Can it get away? No. Nice blink from Astrea.
Man, still though, 2 workers go down. Yes, you lose the Widow Mine. Yes, you lose the medevac. But at the end of the day, that's doomed to die anyway. So getting this amount of damage done is pretty fantastic. Raven gets just a little bit more. Stalkers, though, blink on top of it, gets some damage done. And Steadfast, I know that we're not even 6 minutes into game 1, but I'm going to choose to believe that that bet that we couldn't remember what it was. I choose to believe that it is this game, and I said Spirit because it's looking good enough that Spirit has a minor advantage. So I look forward to claiming that in a couple months.
Fair enough. Honestly, I'm looking at this, and to me, this game looks pretty darn even. It feels decent for both players. We've got Colossus Tech already on the field. First Colossus is about to pop, and it's going to be double upgrades for both players. We do have a small little move out here from Spirit, and Astrea will find it. Ooh, I hope this Stalker... Okay, he does pull it back. Weird little position to be on the map right now for Spirit, but there's not enough here for Astrea to actually do anything about this army in a real sense. Oh, we do see the Raven sneaking to the natural expansion.
And actually, the Pro Pool's going to be a little slow on that one, so you're not going to get 1 worker. You're going to get 2 this time, but it's going to be drips and drabs as a second auto turret goes down. So drips and drabs of damage coming on in Steadfast, which is, okay, he's going to get 4. That's going to be really nice as the pressure shows up on the front side. But with a shield battery here, with a Colossus here, seems unlikely that at least the first blush of this push is really going to work. And remember, this is a very quick third base coming out of Spirit. Generally, when we see pushes happening like this, it's off of 2 bases, 2.5 bases. So now the Zealots charge forward, and this push from Spirit gets just about nothing done. Not even a single Colossus will fall at the end of the day. And that's going to be fairly nice, even as you lose some Stalkers. Yeah, Spirit's pressure doesn't get much done, but behind that third base economy going like gangbusters, and a couple Marines into the third. They're going to get at least more than the first push did.
They do in terms of economic damage. Yeah. But so something that's really interesting is that Spirit actually did sneak this Raven out to the left side. He could have saved the energy and used it for interference matrices, and then maybe that frontal push goes a hell of a lot better for him. But he doesn't end up doing that, and as a result, Astrea is able to get a really nice cleanup on the main army. Like you said, he did lose a fair number of Stalkers, so it was still just fine for Spirit. As it stands right now, we're looking pretty even going into the mid game, but something very important that happened. Double engineering bay. Spirit forgot his +1 armor for about a minute. That is a pretty big deal because Astrea, with these speedier upgrades and with the double chrono boost that he has available, he's going to be able to take an upgrade lead when it should have been an upgrade disadvantage.
Although, in fairness, he was always eventually going to be able to get that upgrade lead, right? Because between chronos you're talking about and just how much the upgrade timing was buffed in that patch right before Katowice. Even so, though, this does give him that opportunity. But, you know, we talk about Spirit's position, and I can't be too upset about it. Yeah, you know, he could have had that upgrade lead. Fine, that would have been great. He still did for a second. But he doesn't want to play the mid-game Steadfast. He doesn't. He's happy with it. He's getting damage done. That's great. He's going to get a couple more workers here. The Raven still stays alive. But Spirit's not happy unless this game is going 20 minutes. He's got his 4th base on the way, but Astrea doesn't want that to happen. He's got an army supply lead. He's got that upgrade parity, and there is not a lot here to defend this. No tanks on the ground that I see, certainly not on this position. And that means that, yeah, look, we got this Zealot Chargelet ball on the left side. We got the army on the right side. And Astrea, if he wants to go for this, he has opportunity to break.
A little bit. It's a small army, and there isn't a War Prism with it. He's focused on the main base where he does drop in some Zealots, and that could open up the defenses massively for a cancel on this 4th base. He does find it. Great stuff from Astrea. I will say Oh, he actually gets another little drop into the natural expansion. He's really finding some big damage here. Astrea is looking prime already in this game. This is a great opening he's found for himself. And because of the lack of the +1 armor being done when Spirit started up +2 attack, he now has not yet started his +2 armor either. And that means Astrea is going to take a very real upgrade timing advantage. And we're seeing something that Astrea has been tinkering with a little bit. That is some heavy robotics facility play going into the mid game. Now, I have seen him go as wild as 4 robos, but for now, he is going to go for 3 robotics facility. However, he doesn't see this move out on... Oh, no, he does. What am I talking about? There's a stalker on the watchtower. Okay, he sees exactly what is happening. He's going to rotate. Oh, this is great for Astrea. He's got a bunch of static defense finishing up. 3 Colossus in position. This is... I think with the War Prism on the left side... No, Viking might manage it.
Nah, well,
yeah,
okay.
Viking will be able to deal with that.
And then with the Marauders as well to deal with something on the ground as it warps in. Anyway, 1 Colossus goes down very quickly here, but to the tune of 3 Vikings. So, yeah, you know, some of the splash damage does go down. His Spirit's going to micro back just a little bit. Dodges Disruptor Shot 1. Gets on top of the second, but he just eats the shot instead. And the Colossus, well, they're not going to go down. Finally, a second one falls, but all the Vikings are dead here. Even still, hefty Marauder Ball. So they're going to punch through, but at the end of the day, Steadfast, it's a trade. You know, it's not, Astrea is not going to get broken. Spirit's not going to punch through, but he doesn't have that 4th base. And as much as we can talk about how Spirit is the king of the late game here, you need to have an economy to go into a late game. You need to not be down 30 workers because Astrea's on 91 probes, Steadfast.
That he is on a roaring economy right now, and he is looking very poised in this game. All he needs to do is really absorb the brunt of these next couple of attacks, and he will find this army. I wouldn't mind seeing him go back into just a round of Colossus production. Nice little depower on the shield battery there. That means no battery overcharge around this base, but is there going to be enough to hold? There certainly should be. With the number of disruptors we've got, I think it's going to be just fine for Astrea. Meanwhile, Zealot run by on the bottom side is going to find a little bit of damage, and even with this EMP right here, these Zealots might win the fight.
Yeah, certainly not up there. Disruptor shot flanking. Oh, not enough room, but the Zealots get on top anyways. And now Spirit's got to give this position up. Losing. Where is he losing the workers? I guess they're on the... Spirit pulled workers to try to deal with it and just was not enough. We're seeing that upgrade disadvantage more than anything else. So 17 more SCVs go down. Spirit still trying to get into that late game. He's got a fusion core. You know, mass range liberators are always going to be nice, but this planetary Steadfast will not complete. It's going to be a second dead base, not even a kill, or not even a cancel on the planetary, no lift, so it's dead. And now, Spirit, once again, he is, I'm not even going to say once again this time, he is so hard against the ropes that, well, Astrea seems just destined to run right on through.
Yeah, I think he certainly will. The Zealots are going to draw the army out of position, which means Astrea will get in on top of this base. And that's big because now you have to attack into disruptors that are already where they want to be. And that just isn't going to work. Tank gets taken down. Astrea is nearly maxed out. He has been up until this point, and Spirit just has no recourse. Disruptor shot's going to fire at the army. They're going to get some pickoffs as well. And I think Astrea is going to take the opening game on this B stream here.
Look at this flank coming in, though. This is the last shot. It's not even going to matter, actually. Yeah, too much damage. Astrea, well, Steadfast, I would like to renege on my what I was saying. I think that is wrong and incorrect, and I'm sorry for lying to the people at home that because Spirit had like maybe a 3% advantage after that drop, that was clearly going to end the game, and double or nothing. Actually,
yeah, I mean, that was just a great game from Astrea. Both players got kind of into a comfortable position in the mid game. But I think when that 4th base got canceled, that was the big the big start of things going really well for Astrea. Then that Zealot drop in the main base in the natural expansion found a bunch of damage. It was just a really comfortable match, really comfortable map. And you mentioned the late game being Spirit's comfort zone. But Astrea was the one who, you know, got to sit back and kind of do what he wanted. And it is important to note that's the biggest map in the pool, or at least it feels like the biggest map to me. I always go by feel. I never really look at the numbers per se for some of these maps. Like like Altitude is a big map. Neo-Humanity is a big map. But at the same time, they're very different. Neo-Humanity, not a lot of opportunity to break through and try and find lots of pushes. They're both big maps, but they're very different in the way that they're constructed. So for that, I don't really care what the numbers say in terms of comparing those two maps. One of them is very open. One of them is very turtly.
Yeah. We do have to point out, by the way, when we look at these two players, we talked about how Katowice was this incredible 3-game series that we very much enjoyed. But in general, Astrea has not beaten Spirit in a while, and when he's beaten him, it's been in Alpha X events. So, or the pour one out for Alpha X, but in small online cups for a couple $100. The last time that Astrea beat Spirit in something that was actually relevant was an ESL Open Cup. Well, I guess on that similar stature was an ESL Open Cup. Spirits in every major tournament that they've played, in Katowice's, in Home Story Cups, in TSLs, Spirit tends to win 1-2 or 2-1, 3-1, something like that. So, this is Astrea's one map. He does at least generally take a map in the series, but as we move on to Royal Blood Steadfast, you talked about the big map that is Altitude, this thing that maybe it's a little bit more wide open. Maybe it favors the Protoss a little bit. Royal Blood is not that map.
No, it's still a big map. I think pretty much every map in this pool is pretty large. Babylon is the one exception, but it is still quite a decent sized map, especially for being the small map in the pool. But I think they're all pretty big, and Royal Blood's still going to have lots of opportunities for Zealot run-bys. It's still going to have lots of opportunities for, hiding a couple of medevacs in a top corner and then boosting in when an army's moving out on the map. They're all pretty big macro maps. The days of Submarine, the days of, Beckett Industries, they are, as it stands currently, behind us.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the new TLMC is going to give us something different, because I do think we need some more I'm not even going to say flexibility, but some more variability in the map pool design right now. They're all just a little bit samey, and I think in general they're all just a little bit Terran favored, certainly in this matchup. So not only do we have Astrea taking at least series advantage in this series where he kind of has not been favored against Spirit, but also in this matchup where it really feels like Protoss have been struggling a little bit. They lost some defensive tools. The map pool is maybe a little bit Terran favored, some good siege up positions. But if there's any one Terran that is not going to reap the benefits of this imbalance, it's got to be Spirit, because the problem's from like 6:30, 7 to 10 minutes. It's not 20 minutes. It's not Spirit's bailiwick in the same way that, a Beyond or a Maru or a Clem is just going to look to shove Marines down your gullet until you fall apart.
No, certainly not. He is very comfortable dragging the game out, and we kind of saw that a little bit stylistically with the fact that, for example, he didn't save up the Raven energy to go for, because even at the very beginning, he, of course, dropped a couple of turrets, and you can save enough energy so that you'll have the double disable on those units, and you're going to be able to shut down those first two Colossus. Now, imagine that instead of a little bit of worker damage, maybe Spirit can end the game straight up. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if he makes that adjustment in from game 1 to game 2, or if he's going to be steady as she goes the way we are used to seeing from him.
I don't know, Steadfast. We know how these things go. We know how everything works out. But for now, the one way the thing works out more than anything else is the fact that we're going to get into game number 2. And in the upper right, in the red for Storm, he's down a map, but he's kind of had his opponent's number in this matchup before. Recently, it is Spirit.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left for Maturino. It's Astrea? Question mark?
Yeah, it's Astrea, technically.
Yeah. Internet is a series of tubes, blah, 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 all that jazz.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So we're going to pop on back out. Take a look at your lovely face, Steadfast, as we wait. You know what? The good news, it's not a meal. Someone else has to someone else has to the bear the brunt of that one. Unfortunate though.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way she goes, you know.
Steady as she goes.
Yeah. But it's fine. I mean, we'll get there. We'll get back into it in a very short period of time. I think the referee will just pause the game to make sure they don't lose anything. But okay, yeah, both players are instantly ready to go. And we will be getting back into it as we have spawning down in the bottom left for Team Matcherino. It is Astrea.
So Steadfast, this asks the question as we get into this. What if we get game 3? Do we have a pause in the first 30 seconds? We've had it in 2 games now. Does it happen all 3?
I mean, statistically, it seems impossible. Oh, this is funky right here. Okay. Statistically, it seems impossible, but I mean, it's it's always an option. So this is really funky right here. We've got ourselves a double gas opener. It's going to be like a proxy oracle, most likely out of Astrea. And we've got ourselves an engineering bay block from Spirit. Now, Astrea did see the SCV, but he ignored it or he didn't notice it. And it is entirely possible that you just don't notice it in a situation like that because you're so fixated on doing your own proxy, even though there's like not a lot happening. And he did catch a small glance of it. But it is going to be Spirit who now notices that something's up. There's a second pylon missing. You didn't send a probe down to take the base, and he's on, you know, look around duty. He's on detective mode.
Yeah, this is an aggressive as hell pylon too. So, this is like the closest proxy Stargate that you could ever go for. It's effectively right up against the natural of Spirit or the main base of Spirit, and the problem is, I mean, who's gonna proxy something there? But okay, he finds it anyways. I was gonna say, you know, that's one of those positions that you're not gonna scout if you're the Terran, because who proxies something there? Oh, okay, yes. Let's go. Max Angel build, Astrea builds. What's he got here?
He has got himself a cheeky little gold base, and this is going to be very cool right here. Now, Spirit. Oh, he will see the pylon. That's huge. That is actually massive. We do have a bunker finished up on the high ground. The Zealot and Adept are going to get pushed away. Now, there will be 3 Marines out in time for this first Oracle, but it is arriving so quickly. This is such a fast proxy Oracle.
I hate this so much. Well, okay, I love this, and I hate this at the same time. If you're a Protoss or if you're a Terran player, this is causing so much mental damage. But for now, 5 Marines are on the field. Widowmine on the way. But the problem is you can't really leave the bunker because there's going to be so much pressure. Even still, Marines, they're going to show up here. A couple SCVs go down. But Steadfast, with how committed this is, for the moment, the Terran can afford to lose a little bit. Now, of course, eventually, the gold base will pop up, and it starts to become a little bit more problematic. But here's what Spirit's game plan is, right? Hold on. Make sure that the Oracle doesn't get too much damage done. Make sure that the Zealot and the Adept maybe don't get too much done. Immediate counterattack. Punish that gold base for having the temerity to exist. And look at... I kind of wish that bunker was up against the mineral line, but at least this gives you a safe place to defend to.
Yeah, I am actually super into this, and I was going to suggest the bunker if he wants to go, you just use the Widow Mines defensively, and then go for the... oh, he's trying to draw in the Oracles right here. He's trying to bait in some Oracle energy usage. Oh, but he's going to be a little bit too successful right there. It will be the Marine drop coming on in. That is what I was looking for with this. But like you said, I think I would have preferred this bunker maybe here, because then you can actually just deny mineral patches. As it stands, it's a safety location, but it doesn't actually threaten.
No, but I mean, he's been able to sneak out. So there are Phoenix on the field, Steadfast. You know, there is this anti-drop power, but he managed to sneak his way out. So now dropping...
He wants a mind drag.
Oh, there we go. This is going to be so much worker damage here, but... Okay, so the Oracles for the moment, they're going to be afraid, but there's nothing to be afraid of. It's only that single Widow Mine. So 2 workers will go down. Cyclone, you know, kills the Phoenix. That's very nice. And oh, Astrea I guess the probes were recalled on over, or they just got maynarded over. Regardless, that's 9 dead probes. So yeah, you know what? That's a lot. Couple dead SCVs, Steadfast. I don't think that Spirit cares all that much.
No, this is excellent counter damage that he's found. You talk about punishing a gold base. It has been punished. It has been punished thoroughly and without mercy.
Yeah, so yeah, Stalkers will arrive eventually, and Zealots and Adepts and things, and eventually this is going to get dealt with. But it's 10 dead probes. This gold base has not been mining for a while, and the safety bunker means that you can just go find yourself in, drop it off, and the Orc, you can't do anything. The Oracles can't do anything against that.
Oh man, but imagine if this was in range of the mineral line. This would have been so much better. Oh, he actually will kind of rally the rally that back a little bit. Now the Stalkers can kind of clean this up at their leisure. Yeah, I feel like this bunker was such a good idea on paper, and it just it fell a little flat.
Yeah, he let good be the enemy of great here. Still, great damage done, right? Spirit's up a couple workers, and yeah, you know, Astrea has the gold, but you know, he only has as many workers as he can kind of build there. He doesn't have that ability to recall and find the value. Oracle,
Blink is done.
Great lock on, but Blink, yeah, finds his way right in. Tank on the ramp is nice, but that's a dead Cyclone, and losing those Marines, losing those medevacs like that, it does take away from your defensive power in a pretty significant way.
Yeah, and Spirit did not have his second and third barracks done with this. He's building them now. Like, this is a little bit uncomfortable. This isn't 4-gate Blink, but there is some value here. Oh, that tank's gonna be so careful. He does lose one Viking, and Astrea, he's got Revelation that sees where both tanks are right now. It just barely sees it off this reactor, and that is going to be enough to discourage him. But now he can potentially just go for a rotation to the natural. Might just be able to take down this bunker. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. And this is looking a little bit scary for Spirit. Astrea still sees everything where these tanks are. If he wants to go for an aggressive Blink, he could think about it, but no, he is just going to focus on trading as well as he can, using this Blink to great effect. And he's taking the second gold. He's going full hero.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, taking a page right out of Hero's book. It's so nice when you have double gold, and when you have so much pressure off this Blink plays, that's going to be a canceled, what was that, an additional barracks? Oh, yeah.
That was a kill on an additional barracks.
Yeah. So many problems here, and the problem is, more than anything else, Stim is so far away. There is no end to this. Oh, a tank gets knocked down here as well. Hey, some damage done. Some Stalkers will fall, but, I mean, we're still sitting here on 3 gateways. As you said, more and more Stalkers can get made. You have that nice, easy proxy pylon. And with the Oracles on top, it's so hard for anything to take the engage. So now, half the mining, more of the main base is getting knocked down, and Astrea seems primed to force me to buy you a beer in about, like 5 months. This is incredible coming out of him.
It's looking really good, and he denies that +1 on the engineering bay. I wonder if Spirit is aware of the bottom stasis ward. Obviously, he knows about this one on the right side. He saw it come down, but Astrea is just kind of using it as like, you can't approach me, and he's covering it with the Stalkers. There was a moment where if this bottom side stasis ward had connected, it might have just been game over. But as it stands right now, we are going to see Astrea trying to find this one siege tank with the Oracles. Nice quick repair. Does keep that safe, but now it's Astrea with the punish on this. Stim is about to complete. No, Spirit! Oh, that's a huge stasis ward. I said he knew it was there, but maybe he didn't?
Oh, he knew it was there, but it's one of those things when you are so stressed on the map, you're dealing with the tank and the natural, you're dealing with everything, you overstep just a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it just all goes to hell in a handbasket. He's gonna lose to the second one. He has literally no bio he can play with, but it seems like for now, he's gonna get off the first one, but Stalkers and the natural are getting so much damage here. So Astrea at this point, yes, Stim is done. Combat shield or concussive shells are done. Combat shields as well. There's no +1, and the economy of Spirit continues to get hurt, continues to get hindered. He's massively supply blocked off of losing like every single supply depot. And Spirit, I don't really see a timing available to him here. I mean, there's no +1 timing. His army is not all that impressive, continues to not be all that impressive after losing the barracks. And well, behind this Astrea, he's got double forge. He's got a medevac down. Everything that Astrea wants, he can have. He wants some ice cream, he can have that too. I mean, I don't know that they're serving ice cream in Jonkoping right now, but he can have it if he wants it.
He certainly earned it. He has certainly earned it. And look at this. He's thinking, how can I lose this game? Boom, drops. Gets set up with this find on the right side. He's going to be able to warp in 3 Stalkers. He had a shield battery that just finished. He knows medevacs are on the field at about this timing. And this is... Astrea is checking every move to make sure he doesn't lose this game. Now, he does lose one Oracle, and he's actually going to lose the other one. That's a little sloppy, but he will blink it on top of the natural. Charge Lot's running on in. Siege Tank goes down. He's got to be a little bit careful. It is easy to get overly aggressive and think you're in a better position than you are, especially when it's a heavily Stalker-based army, but he takes down 10 SCVs. He's taking his natural, and once 1-1 completes, there's no engineering bay. This is a fully all-in Spirit right now. Okay, there we go. He does have one, but he doesn't have any upgrades.
Yeah, he's on 5 racks, 3 or 2 base, excuse me, but he can't even afford to really produce off all 5 racks at the moment. So Stalkers move forward, they snipe something off, you back up, you go forward, you do it again and again and again. And you're right, Steadfast. We're just waiting on 1-1. We're waiting on maybe an additional Oracle to provide high ground vision detection, something like that. And, you know, I'm not even of the camp of what I would like to say, you know, maybe Astrea wants to increase his tech. Add that rebel, he will. But, I mean, he's going to be able to outstrip his opponent. He's going to be able to outstrip Spirit so hard, even on this Gateway army, that it's not even necessary. Now, Drop's going to try to find its way on the left side here, and Spirit scans out where the army is. He knows what's happening, so if there's an opportunity, it's going to be on the flank. But, well, Astrea, he's just going to trigger it a little bit soon. Widowmines are going to be nice, Steadfast. That's a solid start, but Spirit is just slow on the rotation. This natural is going to get targeted right on down. All in this, the Terran is. Well, he's going to have to win this fight, and Steadfast, with the upgrades as they are, well, you know, he's going to trap a lot.
He did get a full-on flank right there. He's currently up 20 army supply, and these Zealots are warping in slowly. If he can kill them off or cancel the pylon, but he won't be able to. There is a lot of Marines here. It is a huge army supply advantage. The thing is, Astrea has a lot of time right now. All he needs to do is keep chipping away at this army. Spirit's on 1 base. Not even really 1 base. He is on half a base of mining. There we go. He lifts it, and he knows he has to go right now. Now, this is the best case scenario for Spirit, considering how this has gone. But Astrea is going to be able to potentially just kill the main command center.
Just put it in the corner. Put it in the corner. But the Stalkers, I think they're going to be a little bit too fast on it anyways. So SCVs, they're going to get pulled onto the other side of the map. Most will fall, but they do buffer some damage. So,
kill the command center.
Is it going to find?
No, he didn't shoot at it for a long time. He could have killed it.
No, absolutely. 100%. But that's not a, I don't think that's a dead spot. Stalkers can still hit, but anyways, Spirit's army into the natural here. The natural's going to go down, but it's all about those outlying bases as well. Spirit has nowhere to run, right? Astrea does have outlying bases. He can go build structures there. He can build a dark shrine, and that is how you end this game. The command center's burning. I think it looks like the command center's burning. There's going to be no detection.
4.8 seconds on +2, but it doesn't matter. Spirit knows there's nothing he can do. He knows that there's so much on the map, and he will be forced to tap out. He is right. It was checkmate.